Hey guys, it's Chris and I'm back with another Star Wars video. That's right, it's been quite a while since I've done a Star Wars video. I wanted to take a look at this Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi teaser trailer. It just dropped earlier today, so I definitely want to break that down. So what I'm going to do is take a look at the teaser with you guys and kind of pause it intermittently and talk about what I see and kind of break it down if we can and see if we can get any clues from it. So without further ado, let's jump right in, take a look at Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi teaser trailer. Here we go. Ah, you already get the feeling with that music. Oh, damn. Okay, so right up front here we have Rey. Obviously, she's freaking out a little bit. It looks like she may, I'm going to say she's probably coming out of another Force vision. You know, she didn't feel too comfortable with that the last time in The Force Awakens. So I'm assuming here this is her training with Luke, and she is coming out of a Force vision maybe because she didn't see something she felt very comfortable with. And the awesome Lucasfilm logo.
Breathe.
Luke, he speaks. So anyway, let me pause it right here. So it looks like Luke is actually talking. So I'm assuming here he's talking to Rey during her training, although that's going to be something I'll bring up at the end of this video, why she's training in the first place. But we see here the island where Luke was found by Rey at the end of The Force Awakens. And again, this bothers me a little bit because they're changing the original canon about the first Jedi temples and where they came from. And as a matter of fact, I have some older videos that I just kind of updated some stuff on that you need to check out if you're interested in the actual canon, the history of the Jedi, and the history of the Sith. I have two History of the Jedi videos, part 1 and 2. Did those about a year and something ago, probably a little longer than that actually, but they're still very relevant if you're interested to see the differences between the new canon and the old canon as far as the original planet that the Jedi initially came from, which was Tython, and they're not even mentioning that in these later episodes. So anyway, I'll leave those links in the description below if you're interested in a pretty detailed description of how the Jedi came to be, as well as the Sith.
Reach out.
Very cool, very cool. Reach out, as in reach out into the Force and listen to it, and we see the telekinesis taking place around her hand. Either that or this is a Superman crossover when Kal-El's fixing to take off.
What do you see?
What do you see? Ah, Leia. All right, so we have a shot of Leia here, and I'm trying to look at any details here. It looks like she is on a starship, so maybe she's actually looking at this map now, going to see her damn brother.
Light.
Ah, okay, so she sees light, and it looks to be this is Kylo Ren's mask from the previous movie that got destroyed, because he did drop it on the bridge when he killed Han Solo, his father, and this was on Starkiller Base. Now, I will say I'm glad to see this is at least, you know, screwed up here as far as it's smoldering or whatever's going on, because I was going to be pissed off if they had him in that same helmet. Now, if he wants to get a new helmet or whatever and construct one, that's fine, but the old helmet he left on Starkiller Base, so obviously that would have been destroyed. So I was going to be pissed off if they kind of forgot that part about him leaving his damn helmet back in the hangar.
Darkness.
Ah, very cool. So she sees balance, and I think this is going to be a big part of the end game in Episode 9. What we're looking at here is actually the old Jedi symbol for the Jedi Order, not the original Jedi Order. And again, go back to those History of the Sith and History of the Jedi videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. The original Jedi Order was a different symbol. It kind of looked like the modern day Imperial logo that we're all familiar with. Apparently Rey or Luke is rubbing across some book here. It looks like that was a stack of books on this temple that he's found, and it's probably the original aspect of the Jedi and what they were supposed to be, because they got too dogmatic as far as the light side. This thing's going to be going back to balance, or the Bendu.
It's so much bigger.
Very cool there. So much bigger. You hear Luke telling Rey it's so much bigger, and you see that cool shot of Rey in her training with Anakin's saber on the island with Luke going through her Jedi training. But is she the last Jedi, or is Luke? Okay, so we saw the red planet there, apparently with the red sand. Looks like there's going to be a First Order attack. They're still going to be going all out, even though they lost their big base. Looks to be we see Poe and BB-8 under attack. And it also looks like we see Finn there, still recovering from his wounds from Kylo Ren. He did get cut in the back with a lightsaber. He may be paralyzed. That's not something you bounce back from very quickly.
I only know one truth.
Ah, okay, so here's Kylo Ren. We just saw Rey running with her lightsaber. Now, either she was on a mission running towards something, or perhaps that was more training footage. We don't really know. We did see the Millennium Falcon there, and she was still in possession of that in The Force Awakens. So the question is, did somebody come and take that away, and she's still training, or is this her actually leaving the island at some point in the movie and going on this mission to defeat Snoke, Kylo Ren, and bring balance to the Force? I thought right here this may be an older shot of Kylo Ren because his lightsaber also got cut up, but apparently he's recovered everything and put it back together, because we do see the scar here across his eye and cheek just like Anakin, and of course that came from the fight in The Force Awakens. So this is a current shot of Ren. Okay, very cool. So this was Luke dropping down to his knees. This has to be a past event here, when originally his new Jedi Order got destroyed by Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren. It looks like that was the shot from Episode 7 when he puts his hand on R2-D2. So that's definitely cool. We're going to actually delve in and find out what the hell happened with Ben Solo turning and probably destroying his new Jedi Order. And in this shot here, we have Brienne of Tarth coming through the flames with her crew there in her chrome outfit. Of course, this is Captain Phasma. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, obviously Gwendolyn Christie plays Brienne on Game of Thrones.
It's time for the Jedi.
So, real quickly before we get to the end of this thing, I'm digging the new ships here, the new designs. They look pretty cool. Classic Star Wars space battle. So it's telling you that the First Order, regardless of their base being destroyed, really didn't lose a whole lot except what was on that base. So they're still going at it pretty damn hard for the fate of the galaxy, trying to take control in that vacuum of power. Because if you remember in Episode 7, they did destroy the star system with Starkiller Base that the New Republic was founded on, not Coruscant, where the Old Republic was based.
To end.
All right, so we had Luke saying the only truth he knows is the Jedi have to end. So the question is what is he training Rey for? He's training her for the end, as in she needs to go on this final mission to destroy the Jedi and the Sith, because I believe that's how this thing's going to end. Just speculation here, but it's going to end in the Bendu theory, I think, which the Bendu is, you had originally the Ashla, which was the light side, the Bogan, which was the dark side, and the Bendu, which was balance. And that was the original philosophy of the Jedi Order, the older order before the Jedi Order. And again, go back to those videos I'm talking about. They'll be in the description below, and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. But I think this thing has to end in balance, and that's why we have the name The Last Jedi. So, of course, the question is that Rey? Is that Luke? Or I think what's going to happen is he's going to train Rey, but he's not going to train her as an actual Jedi. He's going to train her as more of a gray Jedi, if you want to say that, or somebody that's balanced in the Force, that maybe she knows some dark side tricks. So that would be very cool, because, like, for example, the Jedi would never use Sith lightning. That was a dark side power because they were afraid to delve into the dark side, and that was a big part of why the Great Schism took place in the first place millennia ago in this universe, where the Jedi split up into several different groups on several different occasions over the same issue about using the light side and the dark side and being in balance. And of course, that was the whole thing with Anakin being the chosen one. It was a big misunderstanding of the prophecy, but he was supposed to come back to destroy the Jedi and the Sith to bring balance to the Force, because you're not supposed to lean to one side or the other. So I think that's where we're getting the name here, The Last Jedi, as in everything here is going to end with no Sith and no Jedi, all gray. So Rey could actually be the first Force user we've seen in a long time to actually balance with both, and that would be very cool for her to have different powers than just the Jedi or different powers than just the Sith. We can see her using a little bit of both. Pretty damn excited about it. Looks pretty damn badass, and again, I think it's all about this balance thing here. Feel free to go back and check those videos out, those History of the Sith and History of the Jedi Part 1 and 2 videos, and kind of get a better idea of where they're going, I think, with these movies and how this thing may end up ending in Episode 9. And but anyway, it looks really good. I'm really happy with the ship design. I think it looks badass. You got classic Star Wars battles, obviously, But you have a new thing here as far as a new little thing in the direction that Disney's taking Star Wars with the whole balanced Bendu idea. And that's going to be very, very cool to see that Luke has discovered the truth. I really like the idea of him coming across these old manuscripts on this Jedi temple, you know, like the Jedi Bible, so to speak. But it may have some knowledge in there that he's realized that he was kind of taught the wrong way, just like Anakin kind of thought back in the prequels. Anakin was telling, you know, Palpatine, I know there's things about the Force they're not telling me, and I think this is the kind of stuff that Luke has discovered, that the Jedi Order actually got too dogmatic and went away from the original concepts and philosophy of the Force and Force users. So anyway, guys, that's what I think of the trailer. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As usual, thank you for all the support, especially to you guys on Patreon. And as usual, a huge shout out to my executive Patreon smokescreen producers, Griffin, Volguy10, Lala Gig, Kissa Powell, Marylin Bentley, Sean Hayes, Marc Joseph, aka The Snow in Winterfell, JoAnna, Linda Stanfield, and Kieran D20. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate the support. And a big shout out to everyone out there in YouTube land. If you dig what I do here on Smokescreen, feel free to give me a like and a share. Be sure to subscribe to get everything, and be sure to click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you